I wound up quitting my resident assistant job and moving back home. I made that video back in college because I basically just didn't have time for any of this. As soon as I heard the name Inso come out of your mouth, I knew what this was. Will I ever go bald?
I have interviewed the streamer and game essay creator SoundaSheep to ask him the reason he took a 2-year-long break, why he switched up his content so many times over the years, and so much more to come. Alright, then I would say let's start off with your introduction.
Let's go. Am I introducing myself or do you want to introduce me?
I would say you introduce yourself because I suck at doing introductions.
No, it's okay. It's okay. What's going on, everybody? My name... Hang on. Camera got blurry. I'll try that again. What's going on, everybody? My name is SoundaSheep. I am a YouTuber / streamer. Basically, cookie cutter content creator, if you want to put it like that. I focus on indie games for the most part, especially RPGs. I stream them on my YouTube channel. And I'm currently in the process of writing some video essays about the games that I've streamed recently. And that's my main focus on my channel, streaming and then making videos about those games that I streamed. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'd be remiss if I didn't also introduce Francis, the stream mascot, sitting to my left. Just want to make sure everybody knows Francis as well. He's a very important part of everything I do. He's like my better half.
Francis is a big part.
Huge part. He'll be staring into your soul over my shoulder for the duration of this interview.
When did you start streaming?
I started streaming during the pandemic, the fall of 2020. I was kind of bored. And I was in college. I didn't really know what exactly I wanted to do with my life after I graduated. So I had always had this inkling that maybe I would enjoy becoming a content creator, right? And so I decided to go pursue that idea during the lockdown because I had so much time on my hands. And I just full sent it, basically. I was like, all right. And that was nearly 4 years ago. And ever since then, I've been off and on with content. There was a pretty long gap where I just wasn't streaming at all. It was about 2 years, actually, from 2022 until very recently, just a few months ago into 2024. I just wasn't streaming. I was still making content, but streaming wasn't. And to be honest, has never really been my priority. I really always have prioritized making YouTube videos, usually using the live streams that I did. I look at live streams as like my recording session and the YouTube videos as my actual bread and butter.
Right. And did anyone inspire you to start doing content?
I grew up, one of the first YouTubers I really got into when I was younger was Captain Sparkles. The ever famous Minecraft YouTuber. I'm sure everybody knows Captain Sparkles, hopefully. I also grew up watching Markiplier as well, of course. So I kind of got like my love for Minecraft from, I can say this wholeheartedly, from Captain Sparkles. And then I kind of fell into like different games like RPGs, maybe even horror games, even though I don't stream those. I got interested in other types of games through Markiplier because he's always done in the past RPGs, horror games, like I just mentioned. So I would say if I had to reduce it down to 2 creators specifically that inspired me to start making content myself, they were going to be Markiplier and Captain Sparkles.
How did you come up with the name SoundaSheep?
Okay, I'm glad you asked because this goes into the history of the channel as well. So back when I started streaming in 2020, my main focus was actually narrating books on stream, right? So doing live readings of public domain books and broadcast myself going chapter through chapter, reading books. But to go back to the actual question about how this relates to my username, back then I was like, I want to create this really calm, chill environment where people can just listen to me narrate these books. And so I thought to myself, like, what's like the end goal? Maybe some people will fall asleep. They will be sound asleep. Okay, sound asleep. I like that phrase. I like that phrase, sound asleep. Can I do something with that for my username? And I kind of started like thinking about puns or like different ways to say sound asleep. And then I landed on SoundaSheep, right? Because I was like, oh, that kind of works. Like, and then ever since then, I've had the nickname Sheep. That's how most people know me. Some people have called me Sounda as a nickname in the past, but I prefer Sheep personally. So that's where it came from. I wanted to connect my username with the type of content that I was going to be making, and now I've come very far away from that origin, but I kept the username.
If you were to restart streaming, so starting from 0 subscribers, 0 followers, what would you have done differently, and on which platform would you have started streaming first?
Okay, so if I could go back, I would do a lot of things differently. I wouldn't be reading any books because I did abandon that idea pretty quickly. I would, if I could go back, go full throttle on just gaming, just focus on gaming. If you look at my channel, you'll notice there's a lot of different types of content I've done. I think that one of the issues I've had is that I have so many interests, like so many things pulling me left and right to make videos about, right? That's why I've done so many different genres, because I kind of follow my heart in that sense, like what is calling to me in that moment. Like right now, it's video essays. So I would just start focusing on what I'm currently interested in. And you know, that's always going to change. That's always going to change. Like I said, like even a year from now, I'm sure my content will take on some different form. But I do wish, like, if when people came to my channel, there wouldn't be so much variety, because I've gathered viewers from so many different genres, people and so many different interests, right? That the issue is that, like, I have 10K subscribers on YouTube, but those subscribers have come from so many different genres. Then I know those people, you know, they won't watch what I'm doing now if it's not what they were originally interested in, if it's not the reason why they came to my channel. I mean, you can even see that when you stream games, because I'll have viewers watch me play certain types of games, but then I'll move on to another game and, you know, they won't be there. And that's understandable, right? That's like a micro example of what I'm talking about now. The macro is that I do lose viewers. My subscriber count is what it is. 10K is nothing. Like, I'm very happy with that number. I will not just brush that off and be like, oh, that's nothing. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. But at the same time, I also know that they're not all going to be interested in like these video essays that I'm currently trying to work on. But one day, knock on wood, it's going to become my full-time gig. That's my dream. That's my passion that I'm chasing. But I think this is my long-winded way of saying that if I could go back to 2020 when I first started and just focus on what I'm focusing on now, I think my audience would be a lot more focused on one thing instead of the melting pot of genres I've created on my YouTube channel at the moment.
Now, you've gone through a lot of different phases of your content career, from Let's Plays and video essays to Minecraft themed content, and then switching from Twitch streaming to YouTube streaming after 2 years of inactiveness. Now, do you still remember what you were thinking during each of these specific periods where you decided to switch up your content?
That's a good question. Yes, I do. I felt the same way about those topics, those genres, those games that I do about video essays right now, which is my main focus. I've always followed my heart when it comes to my content, because I want to make videos. I've always said to myself, I want to make videos that are fun for me, first and foremost. Second, I want to make things that will entertain people, but I want to build a career where I can just make the videos that I find personally the most fulfilling, but it has to be, I've always told myself, it has to be on my own terms, doing what I want to do. And if I can't get there, the number one thing that this has all taught me is patience, right? I've always, fortunately, been able to follow my heart in that sense. But yes, it is making this full-time YouTuber thing take a lot longer than I would like. But, you know, like I said, the number one thing I've learned from this whole thing is patience, which I think is so key to actually keep your head and not quit doing content before you get where you want to be.
Yeah, definitely. Patience is a very, very important key to actually getting to where you want to be.
For sure. It's I would say it's like the number one trait you need to learn, and not just for YouTube or for content in general, but for life, for following your dreams and getting where you want to be and leading the life that you want to lead. That's not going to happen overnight, unfortunately, as much as we want it to. And chasing those dreams have taught me the truth of those words, how important patience is to our happiness long term.
Now, you said your current main focus now is doing video essays again, and I just wanted to ask, like, what is your usual process on making a video essay on something you find interesting?
Okay, so I have done video essays in the past. It's never been like, there was never really like an arc or a phase of my content career so far where video essays were my only focus. It was just every now and then like a topic would cross my mind and I was like, all right, I want to make like an essay about this and do it that way. The current video essays that I'm trying to make are game analyses, right? I want to analyze the points of a game that I find most interesting, most impactful. I want to talk about the stories of games and analyze what exactly the game is trying to teach the players. So I'm working on one of the first video essays of my new essay arc. And basically the way I'm approaching it, I streamed that game, and as I was playing, like I kept like I actually have it right here on my desk. I kept this notebook next to me, and I would just write down like core themes, messages from the game, things that I thought were impactful that I could talk about, and I wrote those down. And then later on, after I finished the game and I got the full story, the full scope, I tried to understand and comprehend the full message of the game, which I think I've really nailed down. And now I am analyzing that. I'm explaining why exactly I believe the game is trying to convey that message. And I think that's really important. I think that I don't want to gas myself up too much, but I think that could help games kind of be portrayed in a more artistic light, I suppose. I think that is really important to do for games as well, because the reason why I stream games is to share those impactful moments with an audience. That's always been what I enjoy most. Like, I say to myself when I stream a game that this game is a banger if it makes me cry, right? I want to cry. I love crying, baby. I am a cry baby. I want to cry on camera as much as I possibly can. Like, just naturally, like, playing the game, getting the tears flowing. I think I've cried on stream, like, I think 4 times off the top of my head, like 4 times. Which isn't a lot, but it's more than 3, you know what I mean? So basically what I'm saying is that like those moments, those impactful moments, I think carry deeper messages. Usually, like, I don't just cry over nothing. I cry because I'm like, this story is so moving, right? And so now as I write video essays, to go back to the original question, basically it's that I think about those moments. I think about like what moved me in a game, even if I didn't burst into tears on the scene. I think about what themes moved me in the game and why, and what we should take away from these games, like how we can become better people, right, from these video games.
The funny thing is, when you mentioned crying, the first thing I thought about was your Amori playthrough.
Of course. Naturally. I think that was the first time I cried on stream, was playing Amori. Beautiful game.
It's such a beautiful game.
I almost cried during one shot. I will say that. I came close, and I really thought it was going to happen, but it didn't. The Let's Plays on my channel, by the way. If we got any one, I'm sure if you're watching Seamaster, we got some one-shot fans in the chat. I'm gonna plug myself. If you want to see me play one-shot from like 2 years ago, regular route and solstice are in the playlist tab on my channel. I'm just saying. I just wanted to say. I wanted to let the people know. I had to let him know.
Editing Seamaster, do not forget to put this in the promotion section.
I thought you were, oh yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. Put it in the promo section. Put it later in the video. I thought you were gonna just say cut it out entirely. Future Seamaster, don't let this man gas himself up or plug his channel.
Seamaster, do not make the video.
Seamaster, dump the video. Delete the project.
Well, I did it. Seamaster, stop the recording right now.
Stop the That's present, Seamaster.
Wait, which recording are you talking about? The one that I'm doing right now to make this bit? Did you ever have the thought of making a video essay about a game you've already played before, before coming back after 2 years, like One Shot or Omori?
I knew you were gonna say One Shot or Omori. I was literally about to joke. I was about to be like, oh, so this is Seamaster asking me to write about One Shot, isn't it? I know. I did think about it. I did think about it before I knew. So I did do videos during that time. I wasn't completely offline, but I wasn't streaming. I call it post and pre-time skip. So like right now, I'm in my post time skip stream arc, and then there's the pre, or maybe even saga, one might say. If you can't tell, I watch a lot of anime. But I was gonna say that in my pre-time skip streaming days, I did play a lot of games like One Shot, like Omori, that I really enjoyed and thought about writing about as well. But I've decided not to focus on any games I've streamed pre-time skip because I want to leave them in the past, in the sense that I don't want to be labeled. So it's a mix of wanting to leave my past behind me, but also not wanting to be eternally associated with one thing. I'll be honest, specifically Omori. I don't plan on ever going back at the moment to games I streamed in the past. Because one more reason, that would also require me to replay those games. And because it's been so long, like I haven't played One Shot in over 2 years. I know that's crazy. That's crazy to the Seamaster audience. They're like,
crazy.
2 years? Seamaster plays it every day. Like,
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't believe it. What? Who is this guy? Who does he think he is? It would require me to go back, and even Omori. I've played all of One Shot. I've played all of Omori. I've played all of a lot of the games I've streamed, but I would have to replay them, and I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm of the mindset that one of the reasons why I said earlier I'm of the mindset of moving on because I like to experience as many stories. I want to experience as many games as possible. So I don't really want to go back and replay the games I've played in the past. And I want to bring new experiences to the audience as well, instead of being like, ah, yes, I remember doing this 2 years ago. We are here again. We're just repeating.
What was your reasoning behind switching from Twitch streaming over to YouTube streaming?
Okay, so even before I started streaming again this year, I knew I didn't want to stream on Twitch again, simply because there was, without going into the nitty-gritty exact details of what happened, there was a lot of stuff going on with Twitch, and a lot of people were actually jumping ship as well. To be honest, I'm at the point, because it's been so long, I don't even remember the exact reasons why I was disinterested in streaming on Twitch again, but I knew before I even started streaming again that I wanted to pivot over to YouTube. I also do like streaming on YouTube more now. The viewer experience is definitely worse because you don't have channel points. You don't have really well-implemented emotes either, unfortunately. But also, I really enjoy the idea that I can just stream on YouTube on this platform and have all of my VODs just automatically saved onto the channel forever. So if anybody ever wants to go back, even years from now, and rewatch me play Nine Souls, for example, those videos will always be there. Those stream VODs will always be there. Whereas on Twitch, they've always gotten deleted, and I'm just like, man, I wish people could still like see that stuff. Like, imagine if I streamed, well, okay, I have a full edited Let's Play of like Omori on my channel, but I've also had some people ask me for the stream VODs, and I'm like, I don't have them anymore. And I also don't have a VOD channel. But when streaming on my SoundaSheep channel on YouTube, those VODs, the full things are, as long as I don't delete them, will always be there. So that's one of my favorite parts about streaming on YouTube. And in addition, I think I'm able to provide more benefits, more perks to my YouTube members than I was my Twitch subscribers before I stopped streaming on Twitch. That's actually one of the things that always really bothered me, was that I never felt like I was providing enough perks for my Twitch subscribers, but I feel like I'm able to do that more easily for my YouTube members. So all things considered, I think that streaming on YouTube is definitely a better platform for me personally than Twitch is.
From your recent time streaming on YouTube, what did you find different compared to Twitch, for better or for worse?
Well, I had to start using OBS. I used to use Twitch Studio Beta, which I think is a discontinued streaming service that Twitch would let streamers use. I use OBS to stream now. I like it more. I think I can do more with it. But I'll be honest, like there's not a huge difference. I think it's easier between just physically streaming on YouTube versus streaming on Twitch. I think that I do believe that it's basically the same experience for me as a streamer for the audience. I actually think that my streams are more focused as well now, but that's also because I think I'm a better streamer at this point. I like to hope after doing it for so many years, but I don't see many differences personally. But I do know for viewers, it can be different. But I also think it's easier on YouTube to attract new viewers. I think the discoverability is better for YouTube streams, so more people are likely to watch, because Twitch has always had that problem of discoverability for smaller streamers especially. Whereas on YouTube, somebody who subscribes to my channel because they're interested in maybe a Let's Play I did, or a short I made a while ago. I don't make shorts anymore, but when I did, they were attracting a good amount of people. I would always have to say to the ones who were in my comments being like, hey, I want to watch you, I'd be like, oh, go over to Twitch. But now on YouTube, I can just be like, yo, come on in. Same platform. It's on my live tab. Come on over. Like I said for the last question, it's all there. It's all on one platform, which I really personally enjoy. Not just having it on one platform, but ideally having it all on one channel. I don't want to have to make a second channel, but I've thought about it. It all really depends on how the videos themselves perform.
Did you ever have a burnout?
Yes. Yeah, I think burnout, I've had burnout before, and burnout has triggered my phase shifts. I will get tired of doing one type of content and move on to the next. So I've also had burnout from streaming as well. So I've taken longer hiatuses to work on YouTube videos instead. I used to stream more than I do now. Nowadays, I only really stream 4 hours a week, which, if I'm being honest, I've thought about streaming even less, just so because I have to divide my time between my part-time job to afford my living space that I'm in, and then streaming as well to keep people, to remind people that I haven't disappeared off the face of the planet. But the answer is yes. I've taken hiatuses when I need to, and I've never let the burnout last long. I've always acted on it, because I think my content is better when I am not burnt out.
So I recently got a video recommended of yours where you talked about the difficulty of you to make content and streams while in college, and I think you even called it the college conundrum, college being college plus Twitch.
I wasn't expecting much of that. Yeah. I made that video back in college. Yeah, that was 3 years ago. 3 years ago now. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so I wanted to ask, what did you find difficult in doing content while you were in college?
Man, maybe I haven't evolved. Maybe I am still the same person I was back then, because I made that video back in college because I basically just didn't have time for any of this. So I wound up, if this doesn't show how long I've been dedicated to making this happen, I wound up quitting my resident assistant job and moving back home with my mom and finishing school, my senior year of college, finishing school from her house. I'll never forget the conversation I had with my mom on the phone the day that I realized I needed to go back home in order to be happy, right? I was very fortunate. I was very lucky. And so I moved back home and I started streaming a lot more, started working on a lot more videos. And yeah, that was really like my most consistent stream arc after that, after I moved home. And then eventually I burnt out. And that's kind of what triggered the, not entirely, but also kind of triggered the streaming hiatus that lasted almost 2 years.
Okay, so I highlighted / listed all of them in my notes, so if I in case do miss some questions which I have like accidentally might have missed over in the channel, for example, I'm very sorry to those people. First question comes from Al. Al asks, would you drink Kel's Orange Joe?
No, I don't like coffee already, so I would never drink Orange Joe, which is a combination of orange juice and coffee in a can. No, I personally would hate that. I like orange juice, I don't like coffee, and I don't think I would like orange juice coffee.
Same, I don't like coffee either, so we are both on the same page.
Same boat. I'm a tea drinker any day of the week. Tea over coffee.
I actually have like tea on my desk as well.
Hey, Seamaster. I like it. We got some taste.
Piro asks, what is your favorite genre of games to play, if not shackled by essay-worthy only stuff?
My personal favorite genre of games to play outside of what I stream is going to be strategy games. I love strategy games. My favorite game series of all time is Fire Emblem. But I stream a lot of story-based games like RPGs and such. I personally don't play those types of games like Amori, like One Shot, like In Stars in Time. I don't play those games in my free time. I play them on stream because I find them a lot more enjoyable. I think it's actually one of the reasons why I personally didn't enjoy Undertale. Please don't crucify me for saying I don't like Undertale, but I that's kind of like one of the games where I realize I'm like, I'm not really too into this on my own. But when I stream those types of games, it's a lot more fun because I get to like voice act for an audience. I get to experience the story with an audience. I get to analyze the story with an audience. And usually a lot of RPGs in that vein are very story based. So I like to play those games for an audience. But when I'm not streaming, I'm playing a lot more gameplay focused games. And when I am streaming, I'm playing a lot more story focused games.
Piro also asks, what is your favorite dish, either to cook yourself or to order at restaurants?
Okay, so there is a difference. At restaurants, ramen, but to cook, because I do love cooking. Cooking is one of my favorite hobbies. To cook, I love making curry, like curry over rice. I love baking. I just made some cinnamon rolls the other day. I love making cookies. Let's see what else. I love making pasta. Those are like 4 of the foods that come to mind. Curry, pasta, and then for baking for like dessert, because I have a big sweet tooth. The quickest way to my heart is through my sweet tooth. Not my stomach specifically, but my sweet tooth. For my favorite desserts to make, cinnamon rolls and I guess cookies. I'll go with those. If this part makes it into the interview, the takeaway for the audience, if you're going to take away any message from this video, is to try more curries, because you will experience flavors you have never experienced before. And that's one of the reasons why I love making and eating curry so much.
Absolutely. Especially really like with the Japanese like chicken curry. Like, oh, that's so good. It's so good. I had it once in a Japanese like restaurant when I was on vacation in England, and oh my god, it was so good.
First the tea, now the curry. You got good taste, Master. We might if we had a meal together, if we shared a meal together, like it would go crazy. It would go hard.
It would be like one after the other, the same thing almost.
We just order the same thing. Yeah, just bring out 2 of everything, please.
Yes. It's just the same thing, and it's just it's gonna be a lovely, nice like tea and
fantastic.
like dish.
Ah, finally, somebody with similar tastes. I like this.
Rev asks, if you could cosplay a character from any form of media and not need to pay an arm or leg to do it, who would it be?
I think if I had to choose like one character from probably, I guess, like one of my favorite media, I'll go with the game. My favorite game, like I said earlier, is Child of Light, the amazing slept-on RPG. But I would say there's a sad jester named Tristus. There's a sad jester named Tristus who I would dress up as. He wears like this like really you could probably pull up a picture of Tristus in the video, but he wears like this like classic like clown white-faced makeup and like this big jester uniform, and like he's all dressed in blue, and he's supposed to be like a really sad jester. I would dress up as Tristus because I think dressing up like a clown really encompasses my energy as a regular human being and streamer.
So you would be a clown, is what you would say.
I would be a clown. Yeah, I would. Yeah, if I could cosplay as anybody, I'd cosplay as a clown. A specific clown, but a clown nonetheless.
Clue says, let's say you have some magical power that allows you to become anyone, fictional or not. Who would it be?
Put me in One Piece. Put me in One Piece right now. I want to set sail, bro. I want to sail with the Straw Hats. Put me in. I'm Luffy. I'm main character from One Piece. It's a basic answer, I know, but I wanna sail the 7 seas. Well, not even the 7 seas. There's more than 7. Well, 4 seas, I guess. In One Piece, I wanna sail. That's my answer. Easy peasy. Isekai me into Luffy's body. I don't mind starting from the jump.
Clue also asks, would you rather go jellyfishing with SpongeBob or Patrick?
I think SpongeBob would be a lot more manageable than Patrick. Like Patrick's too chaotic. Like, and like he's a little like, I think, too dumb for me to hang out with. Like for a long extended period of time. Like I don't want to have to babysit my friends. So at least, even though SpongeBob and Patrick are both fairly annoying, I would have to say SpongeBob between them because he is more intelligent than Patrick is, and I think that makes him more bearable. And also, his color is yellow, and my color is yellow, so we'd be like 2 peas in a pod.
All right. The best save for the last. Inso asks, will you ever go bald?
As soon as I heard the name Inso come out of your mouth, I knew what this was. Will I ever go bald? Not deliberately, but I am a human being who will age, so I can't say no, but I will never choose myself to go bald and completely shave my head. Unless I'm in like prison or something, which if I'm in prison, this interview is gonna once again age like milk. This is just production me coming in, but that would be so funny to open up the video with that one, like as a teaser. Be like, will you ever go bald? Like as a viewer, like listening to that. Anyway, that's not my choice. But I thought that's so funny. I was hoping you were gonna ask that. I'm glad you remembered.
And now it's on to the surprise questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
So for you, or those who don't know how the surprise questions work, is that I will send you a video of the previous person I interviewed, and after you answered, you ask questions for the next person I'll interview. But that part where you ask the questions will be cut out completely from the video, so the next person can't check what the questions are going to be. Alright, so Need McKinley has asked you some questions, and
Yes.
These questions are going to be these two.
Okay. All right. I have the clip. Hang on. Let me pull it up. The thumbnail was my face. Let me listen to these. I'm gonna do this on my phone. I don't know if that's okay.
Yeah, no worries. That is the end of the interview.
Did you want me to ask 2 questions for the next person?
All right.
It's all good. I know you said you weren't going to include it in the video, so do you want me to ask those now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 2 questions I will ask for the next person is, what did you want to be when you were little? Anything you imagined, anything you wanted to be, even if it's ridiculous or impossible, like like a, I don't know, like a frog or a magical fairy princess or something. And then my second question is, what kind of music do you like to listen to, and what's your favorite musical artist or band?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Simple enough. All right. You want me to answer both now?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Thank you for the amazing questions, Neat McKinley. For my response to your first question about what I wanted to be when I was little, I wanted to grow up to actually be a doctor. I think it stemmed out of a place in me where I was like, I need to help people in some way, and also wanted to make money. I actually specifically, I wanted to be an eye doctor, but then after looking at diagrams of the inside of an eyeball, I got terrified, and I was like, not doing that. And then eventually, as I got older, I was like, man, this math and science stuff, it's kind of hard, isn't it? You know what's easier? Playing video games. So maybe I should do that instead. And then the other answer, actually, though, because I have 2, I'll be honest, to that question. First, I wanted to be a doctor, but second, I wanted to be a voice actor. When my voice got deep, I was like 13 years old, and I was like, I must do something with this gift. And I started to actually pursue becoming a voice actor for a little bit. Eventually, I was a little young, so I backed out of that because I was kind of overwhelmed with the prospect of like actually trying to break into the acting industry. But to this day, I actually still get to voice act when I play RPGs and games without voice acting in them already on my streams. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds in that sense with streaming nowadays. So I still kind of wound up accomplishing that dream. And then for the second question, what is my favorite music right now? One of my favorite bands is Glass Animals. The Sometimes All I Think About Is You, Late Nights in the Middle of June, Heat Waves. I love Glass Animals. I think they write a lot of very meaningful songs with great messages. So it's like just like with my games. I love listening to music with like some deeper meaning, right? Some morals to take away from the stories they tell. And then I've been a longtime fan of Coldplay. No introduction needed. The other band I love is Gorillaz. I always thought Gorillaz were so cool because they're like they're a virtual band, not a real band, with humans in it. If you know Gorillaz, which most of you probably do, you know what I mean. And let's see, I'd be remiss to forget any other artists that really stand out. No, those are the ones: Glass Animals, Coldplay, and Gorillaz make up my music personality at the moment.
This seems to be the end of the interview.
Yay! We did it. Good job, Seamaster. We did it.
Good job, Future Me, for finishing the editing.
Shout out to Future, which when the viewers watch this will be past Seamaster. So shout out to past Seamaster now, not future.
That's true. That's true. Now, if you like, you can go ahead and promote anything from your channel if you like.
I thought you'd never ask, Seamaster, but of course. Now, listen, everybody. Listen up. I've been talking a lot about these video essays I'm working on during this interview. I don't know if they're going to be ready by the time you click on my channel, but subscribe to the SoundaSheep YouTube channel, which hopefully Seamaster will link in the description. I'd be very grateful. subscribe to that channel because the video essays will come out eventually. Or maybe you want to watch me stream live. That's a great idea too. Subscribe. I'll be there doing that as well by the time this goes up. And that's only the only platform I focus on. So you only have one job. You just hit the subscribe button on my channel. And Seamasters, what are you doing, guys? Come on. If you're watching this video, you just sat through the whole thing. You probably enjoyed it. Leave a like on Seamasters' video on this very one. And subscribe to the channel. What are we doing? Leave a comment while you're there. Come on. Come on.
You heard the sheep. Go subscribe.
Yeah. The Seamaster channel is SoundaSheep certified banger. All right? Make sure you drop that sub and that like and that comment.
I got the seal of sheep approval.
The seal of sheep approval is fun. That's funny. I love it. I love it. We got to get that going. Like a stamp. Right on the video.
After the interview with SoundaSheep, I now know that college was a major role in why he was so inactive and later on was burned out so hard that he had a major 2-year-long hiatus. And as for the reason why he switched up his content so much is because he wants to make a career on making content that he wants to do on his own terms. And if you want to see how Neat McKinley almost quit streaming entirely just weeks before he got his audience he wished for, make sure to check out this video. I guarantee you'll be amazed what this man has achieved which he almost missed out on.
But other than that, man, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed. And I hope you had fun too.